Alright, hey everybody, one Wisdom here. It is Saturday, June 1st, closing in on 3 in the morning, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Just recorded a really cool video. Basically, long story short, just like I said in the round 7 results, I will be going to E3 on behalf of some very generous people to cover Skylanders Swap Force. Be sure to check out that full video, much more information there. That said, it's really late. I'm going to try to crank this out for you. Round 7 results are done. The round 8 polls, while that video edited, I actually got those up on the blog. Right hand side of the blog, oneofwisdom.blogspot.com. Scroll down. When you see the Twitter feed, you'll see first matchup 8-1 with Warnado. 8-8 will be featuring Wham-Shell there at the end. Go down the line, select who you would want to win, click submit or vote, whichever it is, and repeat the process 7 times to get your votes in. If you're a huge Chill fan, spread the word, tell your friends. We want to get as many people as possible voting. Makes things more interesting. Pull for your favorites. Post up, who you want to see win, who you think will come out on top, what you're upset about from last time, what you'd like to see in the future in terms of like a playoff, tournament bracket style, Castaways, showdown, Newlanders showdown, and then a tournament playoff type thing, etc. We will take it from there and make the most of it. Again, the goal is to have fun. When you select which character you would prefer, again, don't view it solely on just a battle mode player versus player situation. Take into account how well you like the character in story mode, how effective you feel they are, the aesthetics of the pose, upgrades, abilities, just in general how much fun you have with them when you play. Factor everything into that. So for example, if you think that Chill is unbeatable in battle mode, yet you think Warnado could compete with her and you love Warnado in story mode, like his pose better, like his upgrades better, etc., pull the trigger for Warnado. Don't just say, well, Chill would kill him in battle mode, I'm taking Chill. Factor everything in. That's the goal here. That said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Round 8 matchup number 1 will be an interesting matchup here. 2 characters I actually really like very well. Warnado, the Air Element Castaway, he comes in at 4-3, going up against the winless Chill, who comes in at 0-7. Again, I'm not going to tell you who I would pick here. I'll do that in the results video. But again, factor everything in. See what you think. Just going down the line here, I definitely know what the marquee matchup is. Let's see, biggest blowout. Who would have the... Okay, I think I know the biggest blowout too. This one's actually truly interesting to me. I think I know the way people are going to take everything. But these two, again, match up fairly well in terms of the totally different styles they bring to the table. Our next matchup, Air Element Newlander Jet-Vac, comes in winless at 0-7, just like Chill. He is going up against Earth Element Castaway Dino-Rang, who comes in at 5-2. Very respectable mark there. Again, these two characters I really personally like. This will be a tough one for me. I don't think this one will be the biggest blowout. Which one do I think will be tough? I think the marquee matchup might actually wind up being the tightest as well. Nonetheless, I think this will be a pretty good matchup. I think I know the way people are going to take it, and I would probably agree with that. Wouldn't have any qualms about it anyway. Our third matchup features 1-6 Flashwing, the Earth Element Newlander, going up against the ever-hot Sunburn, the Fire Element Castaway. Again, this is kind of a dragon showdown, just like we saw Flashwing and Camo last time. Sunburn comes in 5-2, Flashwing 1-6. I know who I would take here. I think I know what people will, kind of wind up making things go. So this one could be interesting. It kind of depends. I get to a point where it's hard for me to forecast what people are going to do. Flashwing was always competitive. I thought she'd do okay against Camo. I didn't envision her winning, but she was slaughtered by Camo last round. I feel like a lot of the Camo people would fall into the Sunburn camp. But I think this one should be tighter than that. We'll kind of pan it out and see what happens. Speaking of that, Camo that is, and Hot with Fire Element Sunburn, this is the marquee matchup, perhaps one of the most intriguing matchups overall. We have from the Life Element representing the Castaways, Camo. He comes in at 6-0-1. The only blemish on his record is a tie with Pop Fizz, which we plan to settle after the season. Hot Dog comes in scorching hot at 6-1. This is a true showdown right here. Two juggernauts in this thing. And this is what I'm going to peg as the marquee matchup. And I will go ahead and go on record and say that I think this will probably be the tightest as well. Kind of think Wham-Shell Fright Rider might be close too, but I'll go ahead and I'll label this the marquee matchup, and I'll go ahead and say I think it's going to be the closest. Do I know what people are going to do here? No, I do not. Both of these guys have been juggernauts in this tournament. I really have no clue how it's going to pan out. All I can tell you, if you're a Camo fan, spread the words, tell your friends to vote similarly. If you're pulling for Hot Dog, you better do the same thing. This one's going to be very, very interesting. I do know who I would take, but in all honesty, I have no clue what the masses are going to do here. Our next matchup, kind of interesting. Shroom Boom's kind of down there on the spectrum that Voodo and Boomer were at this time last year. I kind of mentioned this prior to Boomer and Shroom Boom last time. Voodo comes in, he's kind of cooled off a little after that hot streak he got on. He comes in 3-4. Shroom Boom, just like Jet-Vac and Chill, comes in winless 0-7. I think I know what people are going to do here. I think I might do the opposite, but we're going to pan it out, see what happens, and take it from there. This next matchup, actually pretty interesting to me, just because it's almost like two dichotomies here. Pop Fizz has been insanely popular since he came out. People have taken the time to upgrade him. Light Core coming out is going to bolster him again. Boomer was cold upon launch, and kind of stayed that way. He only kind of became more popular when people actually kind of realized he was getting hard to find. And then I think shortly after that, some people started actually upgrading him and realized he was a pretty good character. Again, that applies to almost every Skylander if you're curious. But Boomer comes in with a above 500 mark of 4-3. Pop Fizz, thanks to the tie with Camo, he comes in 5-1-1, very respectable. Like I said, to me, this is kind of the dichotomy. You've got, you know, the initially popular, still popular against the lovable loser, you know, the guy that was kind of downtrodden, castaway, a true castaway, if you will, and the definition of the word, I feel, is what Boomer is. In all honesty, this would actually be a really good battle mode matchup. They're fairly similar when you get right down to it in terms of play style and story mode. Poses are somewhat similar. Boomer is a troll. That may be a deciding factor for some people. But I'm pretty sure I know how people are going to do this. I can't say that I would do the same thing, although, I mean, I could see it going either way. I'll leave it at that. Needless to say, long story short, I think this one will be interesting. Looking forward to seeing the results there. Our next matchup. This one, I think, in my usual fashion, it seems, with these types of matchups, I'm going to label this the biggest blowout. At least that's the way I see it coming down. I see a couple of these that could be tight, some that are probably going to be a little wider, but if I had to pick one that I thought would have the biggest margin of victory, and loss, it would be this one. We've got Ghost Roaster, the Undead Element Castaway, who floats in at 6-1. He is coming fresh off a loss against Pop Fizz, and he is out with the pain chain looking for redemption. Sprocket, meanwhile, comes in off a loss against Wham-Shell. She is at 1-6. You have to remember, I said I'd pick her over Wham-Shell last time, but I think I know what people are going to do here. It's what I would do. That's kind of why I'm thinking this is going to be the biggest blowout. We'll have to hold out and see how it pans out. This next matchup, it may not stand out to you at first glance, kind of like a Camo Hot Dog or maybe a Pop Fizz Boomer, Warnado, Chill, Sunburn, Flashwing type situation. However, if I had to pick a match that I thought would be close after Hot Dog and Camo, or if I had two picks for what might be the closest, I would take this one. Fright Rider, he's rarely been blown out. He's usually performed well. Wham-Shell's had some close wins. He's had a couple of blowouts. He comes in at 6-1, a stellar standing mark. Fright Rider has climbed up to 3-4. He has a chance to finish this thing at 500 at a 4-4 mark. I think I know what people are going to do, and like I said, earlier, I think this one has the potential to be very, very tight. It's one of those ones, if you're on the fence with it, you should probably pick one, because your vote very well might wind up being the deciding factor in the battle. But that is it. That is round 8, match 8. Castaways, Newlanders, it's been fun. After this wraps up, I'm probably going to settle Pop Fizz and Camo. We'll have a showdown between those two juggernauts. Past that, we're probably going to come in and either do a tournament type bracket deal. We'll say that Chill finishes 0-8 and Jet-Vac, Shroom Boom win or something, and then we'll say that Ghost Roaster finishes 7-1, he's number 1. We can play it off that way, number 1 Castaway versus number 8 Newlander, and kind of make brackets out of it. Or I can come in and do like a Castaway versus Castaway series alongside with a Newlander versus Newlander, combine those stats and then make the bracket. And just kind of feel free in the comments or the blog, whatever works for you, kind of go ahead, chime in what you want to see. We don't have to decide right now, but it is something I'm thinking about, and if you've enjoyed it, I'd appreciate your input. But couple of pretty good matchups here. Again, the marquee is going to be Camo and Hot Dog, in my opinion. That one's going to be real interesting. I see Fright Rider, Wham-Shell being close. Pop Fizz and Boomer, oddly enough, I'm intrigued by that one. I feel like Shroom Boom has a chance with Voodo. Honestly, I think our other two winless have slight chances as well. Flashwing and Sunburn, I could see that going either way. This is a pretty solid round to end on. I really like a lot of the matches here. Again, we began element versus element. This is kind of the polar opposite. We've slid everyone over. Final showdowns, if you will, between Castaways and Newlanders. The polls are up on the blog, oneofwisdom.blogspot.com. Right-hand side, just below the Twitter feed. They will run for 1 week, basically until Friday night, 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be sure to cast your votes. Like I said, some of these I see being pretty tight. Tell your friends, spread the word, get as many as you can to vote for your favorite Skylander. Some of these I think are going to need all the votes they can in order to determine a winner. I see them being pretty close. So, questions, comments, you can ask here on YouTube. For a much quicker response, I suggest you use the blog, oneofwisdom.blogspot.com. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Again, many thanks to everyone who has voted. Make sure to do the same for this round. Like I said, I think they're going to come down and need all the votes they can get to pick winners in this one. So stay tuned. We will be back with the round 8 results, and then we'll kind of decide if we want to take it straight into a playoff, do a Castaway versus Castaway, Newlander versus Newlander series, etc. Main thing is have some fun. We'll see what happens, and I will catch you back here for the results video.